Have you ever felt this deep down nagging, this question that we all have inside of you? It's that longing and that wanting to discover your true life's purpose. It can really leave us restless. What if I told you that growing spiritually, growing into higher states of consciousness, and in some form, perhaps a spiritual awakening, could be a big part of uncovering and unhiding that life's purpose? Hey everyone, I'm John Burchell, and welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time, welcome for the first time. I'm pumped to have you. Today we're going to be diving into a really profound topic, how your inner purpose, perhaps this universal purpose that we all share, can help unfold and unhide our own unique path and our own unique life purpose. And so many of us, I think, we embark on a journey seeking clarity and direction. And I can confidently say and share that in my own spiritual journey, in my own spiritual awakening, particularly a Kundalini awakening experience that I've talked about in many videos already, has played a monumental role in uncovering my unique path. So in this video, we're going to explore how we all share this innate inner purpose, a higher self. It's our higher self yearning to merge with our lower self, and basically how this beautiful dance of self-discovery helps reveal our outer purpose and that thing we're seeking, and so the very reason why we're here in this lifetime. So we'll talk about the concept of Dharma, our unique calling that's rooted deep within us and something that we don't actually need to look for. It kind of uncovers itself, and how our life experiences and our talents, they shape this journey. I'll also, of course, share some personal anecdotes and insights from my own spiritual journey that hopefully is helpful, and insights from spiritual traditions, and even some pretty fascinating observations about the innate passions that I believe we're all born with that we call Dharma. So if you're ready to jump in and to embark on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, let's get into this video and we'll discover some of the mysteries of our inner and outer purpose together. So I think it's safe to say, or I believe in my paradigm, that we all have this innate drive, this innate desire to know the truth of reality. And so what I mean by that is that innate drive for the higher self and the lower self to merge as one. And so what does that mean? Well, the higher self is what I'm talking about as far as the soul. And so it is infinite. It is unbounded, so it's outside of time and space. It's absolute, and so what that means is that it's self-referral and it knows itself alone, as opposed to the lower self, which is me, John Burchell, talking to you, watching the video. And so the lower self is finite. It's bounded within time and space, and it is that ego. It's that subject-object separation that I mentioned. And so we each have, I believe, this core shared drive to rest within our true nature. And when I say this core innate drive to rest within our true nature, I'm referring to what Buddhism would call resting in our true nature. In Hinduism or the Vedic tradition, they would call this Brahman. And so we each truly share this universal quest to know from the first person perspective, the person looking out of the eyes, what is the true nature of reality. So as we grow within our inner purpose, which is the higher self and the lower self closing the gap, as they become more familiar with themselves, either through a spiritual awakening, meditation, what so on and so forth. Well, what naturally happens is our outer purpose, what our souls came to do in this incarnation, it naturally unhides itself and it naturally emerges. So meaning, which is really cool, it's not something we really have to go look for, because it's something that's innate within us, something that we're born with. We would call this Dharma. And Dharma is really, very simply, who we're meant to be. And what's fascinating about that is that there's a reciprocal relationship between our inner purpose, and as we grow in consciousness and awareness and rest in our natural being, or if we do what we're called to do, what we're meant to do, those two things actually play upon each other. So our outer purpose helps us with our inner purpose to grow in higher states, and the inner purpose of emerging the higher and lower self actually helps with the flow of that outer dharmic calling. What's also really interesting is that each of us has this unique dharma, has this unique purpose, and these unique talents that we were born with. And so what I'm insinuating is that we're not actually born as a completely blank slate. And so I'll give you an example to prove that point. I've actually seen some videos on Instagram and on YouTube of like a little kid listening to rap, and it was like almost like he was listening to Eminem. And you saw this little fella. When I say little fella, I'm talking about like 4 months old, 5 months old, and he's listening to the beat of the music, and he's really listening to it. And I'm just dying. But it was clear that this little fella, this 4-month-old, was feeling it in his soul. And so, what that shows you is that he wasn't taught to love rap. He didn't need to be shown rap. It was presented to him, but he found it in his soul. And so that shows you that little unique example that it's something, our dharma and those unique talents and those unique passions that come to the surface are actually something that we are born with. And so when I was actually, if I talk a little bit about, myself, when I was growing up, I grew up in a family of 8 kids, 4 boys and 4 girls. I was the second oldest and the oldest of the boys. And I had this innate feeling and this innate responsibility to take care of them, but also probably to be a pain in the ass a little bit, but to discipline them. So there's pictures of me holding on to my little brother, and I was always there and thinking I needed to teach them how to be, a little boy. I needed to teach my siblings how to do things. I wanted to, to really honestly for them to be the best versions of themselves. And so as we're playing on the playground, I was actually trying to teach them how to play, kind of looking out for them, looking out for bullies, always doing that. And that wasn't something that my mom and dad needed to say to me to do. And now when I fast forward 8 years after my Kundalini awakening, I have had this insatiable appetite, and as I've continued to meditate, to get into coaching, life coaching. And so I have, the certification through International Coaching Foundation. I've gotten into numerous trainings with positive psychology, Vedic science. I've gotten that master's degree in consciousness and human potential. At work, when it comes to managing, there's some folks that they actually talk about, I don't want to be a supervisor. And I'm different. I absolutely love having the privilege of being someone's manager and empowering them to be the best people they can be. And so for me, as I've grown a little bit more familiar with my higher self and spent some time in meditation, spent that time in silence, 8 years after the original Kundalini awakening, I can safely say that my Dharma lies within the field of empowering people to be the best versions of themselves. All right, I want to thank you a ton. Thank you so much for joining me today on this journey into the connection between our inner purpose and our life's outer purpose. I hope that this exploration has provided you with something valuable, some insights, and hopefully some inspiration to dive deeper into your own path. As we've talked about, this process of inner awakening is deeply personal and unique to each of us. And so your inner purpose, that innate drive to connect with your higher self, it can actually help guide us towards uncovering our true outer purpose, your unique Dharma that you came here to do. And so by embracing this journey, I really feel like and trusting that as we grow in self-awareness, as we grow into higher states of consciousness, our true calling, our life's purpose, it's going to unfold naturally. It's really bound to. And so if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It's really appreciated, and share it with others that may, be seeking clarity in their life. I think it could really possibly help. I hope you think it could help. And I'd also love to hear your thoughts, what resonated with you the most, maybe what didn't. I really wanted to start this channel to have some community, and find out, have you experienced moments where your inner purpose perhaps revealed your outer purpose, your outer path? And so take some time, share some comments about your experiences below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content on Inner Vision Life. We'll talk about spiritual growth, self-discovery, positive psychology, and a tons of other cool stuff. And together, I think we can continue to explore the depths of our existence and to support each other on this path and this really incredible journey. So until next time, keep nurturing that inner light, stay curious, and remember that your purpose, it's waiting to be revealed. And so take care, and I'll see you on the next one.